Can you imagine a city where boiling water turns into snow the moment it hits the air, where human breath freezes instantly, where cars are never turned off at night because they won't start in the morning? You might think this sounds like a scene from a science fiction movie. But it's not. This is real. This is Yakutsk, the coldest inhabited city on Earth. Today we take you on a journey to this frozen land where life fights the cold every single moment, and wins. Get ready to uncover a world so extreme, so harsh, and yet so beautifully resilient that it will leave you in awe. Yakutsk is located in the far eastern part of Russia. It's the capital of the Sakha Republic, a region in Siberia. Winter temperatures here regularly drop to -40°C and the record low, a bone-chilling -71.2°C. Yakutsk holds the title of the coldest permanently inhabited place on the planet. Now the question arises, how do people survive here? What makes them stay in such an unforgiving climate? Let's explore layer by layer. Life in Yakutsk is not just about surviving the cold, it's about adapting and thriving in it. Imagine waking up and knowing that stepping outside for even a few minutes could cause frostbite. Yet thousands of people do this every day, because for them, this isn't extreme. It's just normal. Daily life here begins early, like anywhere else in the world, but with more preparation. Before leaving home, people wear up to 5 or 6 layers of clothing. Thermal undergarments, wool, fleece, and finally fur-lined outerwear are all part of the daily attire. Without these, walking even a few steps outside can be dangerous. Let's talk about transportation. Most vehicles in Yakutsk have engine block heaters connected to electric sockets. In fact, you'll find extension cords dangling from apartment windows down to parked cars. These cords keep the engine warm even when the car is off. Still, many people prefer to leave their cars running overnight. Starting a frozen engine can take hours and might damage it beyond repair. Public transportation exists but is limited. Buses and shared vans, known as marshrutkas, operate under strict cold weather protocols. Drivers often carry backup batteries, engine warmers, and even small heaters inside the vehicles to keep the interiors bearable. But what about the infrastructure? Buildings in Yakutsk are marvels of cold climate engineering. Many are built on stilts, not because of style but necessity. The ground beneath Yakutsk is permafrost. If you build directly on it, the heat from buildings melts the frozen soil, causing structural damage. So buildings stand elevated to minimize heat transfer to the ground. The water system too is different. Pipes are often above ground and heavily insulated. Underground plumbing would freeze solid. It's not uncommon to see what looks like scaffolding weaving through the city. These are pipelines carrying water and heat. Heating is centralized and powered by massive power stations. These stations burn coal and other fossil fuels to produce steam, which is piped throughout the city. Every building is connected to this network. Losing heat in winter isn't just inconvenient, it can be fatal. Now let's enter the homes. Inside, homes are warm and cozy, often heated to over 25°C. But electricity bills? They can be staggering. People insulate windows with plastic films and heavy curtains to keep out drafts. Warm slippers, rugs, and woolen blankets are must-haves. In terms of food, Yakutsk has its own culinary traditions, many influenced by the extreme climate. Meat is a staple. Reindeer, horse, and fish are common. Raw frozen fish, called stroganina, is a delicacy. It's served in thin slices, straight from the freezer, sometimes dipped in salt or sauces. Because nothing grows outside in winter, people rely heavily on preserved foods, pickled vegetables, dried herbs, smoked meats, and frozen berries. Shopping for groceries often means buying frozen goods in open-air markets where meat and fish are displayed without refrigeration. In fact, sellers use axes and saws to cut through the frozen produce. Now consider the emotional and psychological effects of living in such a place. In winter, the sun rises late and sets early. Some days there are just 3-4 hours of daylight. Lack of sunlight can lead to seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a type of depression. People counter this by using light therapy lamps, maintaining active social lives, and celebrating cultural festivals to stay connected. Education doesn't stop either. Schools have strict guidelines about when to close. For younger children, schools close if temperatures fall below -50°C. For older students, the cutoff is -55°C. Despite this, many schools remain open because cold is considered normal. Children bundle up in multiple layers and attend school like champions. It teaches them discipline and resilience from a young age. Outdoor activities are minimal in peak winter, but children still play in the snow when conditions allow. Snow forts, sledding, and snowball fights are common sights. Now let's touch upon healthcare. Hospitals and clinics in Yakutsk are equipped for emergencies that relate to cold exposure, frostbite, hypothermia, and respiratory issues. Doctors receive special training to deal with cold-related ailments. Portable heaters, extra blankets, and rapid response vehicles are standard. Imagine getting injured far from a hospital. Emergency responders must act quickly, using snowmobiles and special cold-resistant vehicles to reach remote areas. Time is critical. Even minutes can make the difference between life and death. But despite all challenges, people here smile. They fall in love, get married, celebrate birthdays, and live life fully. Weddings in Yakutsk happen in winter too, with guests bundled in fur and photos taken against snowy backdrops. Let's not forget culture and traditions. Yakutsk is home to the Sakha people, who have a rich heritage. They celebrate festivals like Izyak, a summer solstice event that honors the sun and nature. It's full of traditional music, dance, and rituals. Even in winter, cultural events continue. Theater performances, art exhibitions, and music festivals keep the spirit alive. Many artists in Yakutsk find inspiration in their surroundings. Painters, poets, and photographers capture the stark beauty of the landscape. The contrast of icy blues and snowy whites against fur-lined humanity creates a unique artistic aesthetic. Technology is also catching up here. Internet services have improved, and people use social media to stay connected with the world. Many locals document their life in Yakutsk through vlogs, reaching millions of viewers who can't believe humans actually live in such conditions. Even with all the obstacles, there's a deep-rooted sense of community. Neighbors help each other. Sharing warmth, whether through soup, stories, or smiles, is common. Strangers become friends quickly because everyone is fighting the same battle, against the cold. Economically, Yakutsk thrives on mining. The region is rich in diamonds, gold, and other minerals. These industries provide employment and help sustain the local economy. Miners work in extreme conditions but are well compensated. Despite the risks, many prefer staying in Yakutsk than moving elsewhere. And finally, let's not forget the resilience of the human spirit. Yakutsk proves that no matter how harsh the environment, humans can adapt, endure, and even flourish. People here don't just survive. They live, they love, they create, and they inspire. So the next time you sit by your heater complaining about the cold, remember the people of Yakutsk, who smile through the snow and say, "Life isn't cold, it's warmed by courage." This is not just a story about cold weather. It's a story about bravery, endurance, and the triumph of the human will. Welcome to Yakutsk, the heart of frost, the land of ice, and the soul of fire.